Yes, I don't know. And then we came out there.
I tried to hide the technique. It doesn't always work.
I'm almost shamed as a shy Norwegian because it sounds like cheesy. Oh, love.
Like 5 jackets on me.
I wanted to hug you, but I was scared.
Yeah.
It's all about trust, isn't it?
My father is a really good director, but he's a very difficult person. We can't really talk.
Many things inspired this one. Fascination for how movies can talk through empathy about reconciliation. There were all these themes, but it has to be something specific, right? And one of the first specific things was Renate. I was in the writing room with Eskil Vogt, who I always write with, and we really wanted to do something with Renate again. And the character Nora started appearing to us. And I don't know, we've known each other for a while now. And I felt that there was still stuff to explore. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of one of the first things. And then I knew it was going to be about sisters. And then a father character came in. And then Stellan was someone I really wanted to work with for a long time. But there were still some pieces to fill in. And to match this one, to match someone of that scale of acting, I needed to find a sister. So we had a long journey of meeting many, many, many actors until Inga suddenly showed up, which was a lovely experience because I knew who you were, but I hadn't really, we hadn't worked together before. Yeah. But I felt the chemistry between these two all affected how the film turned out to a big degree. And I think it's a collaborative process. We make a script, but then we do rehearsals and the actors also come in with a lot of ideas and that shapes it to its final form.
I got a TikTok question, like, can you describe this film in one word? And I couldn't, of course.
It explores, I guess, the complexity of family traumas, like the history of how that passes down, and also explores art, kind of the cathartic, kind of the healing nature that art has in our lives, and how it can, heal and make people, possibly reconcile. There's a lot of things unsaid in this film. I think that Joachim is our director. He's not afraid of the silences, and it's a very honest film that feels very true and true to real life.
He has a remarkable way of making it light. Mm-hmm. It's like a souffle in a way. Yes. It's very light and dealing with sincerity with really hard matters. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't solve any problems for you. Mm-mm. He lets you chew it up yourself.
You working on anything new?
Something like that.
Kollar du med pappa? En andra butiker. Eller här, tror jag. Går det bra? Ja, det går bra.
Yeah, it was very different. I feel Worst Person in the World was a big summer party. It was very free. That character was naive. She hadn't found her way yet. She was melancholic and searching for something, but it was like a summer night in Oslo, and then this movie we went into something with more emotional weight and more condensed in that house and family history through time that this house represents, and it was very different. But I remember the first day on set we did kind of a light scene in the first day that you didn't end up using.
Yeah, that's true.
But we had to really concentrate on moving on because it was such a big flashback.
Yeah.
Going
in.
We
were giggling and it was weird.
I was in my trailer crying, and then you came in and then you were, are you okay? I was like, yes, I don't know. And then we came out there.
I remember.
And we came out there, and then we were giggling, but I had like swollen eyes, and it was no, but it's
the process.
Yeah.
We know each other very well, and us as well now, and it's all about trust, isn't it? And being allowed to let emotions arrive and stuff. No, but it was interesting. Yeah. Irony is this house we shot in, I know that very well. It's up the street from where I lived, and we went to see 100 other houses, and then let's look at this one. And it took 30 seconds, and it was like, yeah, this is the house. It takes a long time to discover what you really need, even though it's right in front of you. I love that house. It's perfect for this story. And it's got beautiful windows, the inside, outside, everything kind of functions from a kind of aesthetic point of view. Film is about spatial treatment, from the beginning. like our memories. You need a place to put the story, to put your memories. So I thought it was great. I missed the house. How about you?
And also, what you talked about, how you can actually see, you've written in how time passes, and how these big events in families move past so quickly, and it's so emotional, and you get that hook in the very beginning of the movie when you see everything that's happened in that house. So that's a beautiful part of the movie.
Obviously, there were a lot of things that I could draw from, and things that I understood in playing an American actress myself. Even just the simple thing of me coming to Norway, as Elle. I'd never been to Norway before. It was my first time, much like my character, joining a film with a Norwegian director. And so at times, Joachim and I, we would look at each other and we're like, this is so meta. He would be explaining a shot to me about a scene where Stellan's character is explaining a shot to me. And so there were so many layers on top of that. But I found her fascinating to play. She was exciting because I think she could easily kind of fall into this kind of vapid Hollywood star or a cliche, but Joachim is not interested in one-dimensional characters, and so the way that he wrote her, as the movie continues, she grows and kind of does a very heroic thing at the end, but there's a lot more under the surface, and I was excited to explore that. I mean, for Rachel, she's someone that she wants someone to see her, or to see her for her talent, which I think has gotten a little bit lost in her career, and she doesn't have much kind of agency or power over her choices. And so when she sees Gustav's film, it's so authentic, and watching Agnes as a little girl in that film, it's so true, and it really, something moves her, and she wishes she could be a part of a project in that way. And when Gustav meets her, I think they probably see a similarity in each other, but he also he sees her and puts his trust in her, and I think that means a lot to Rachel, and so she decides to kind of make the leap and the bold decision to do the indie foreign film in Norway. And she's also like this surrogate daughter in a way, which she doesn't know stepping into it. She doesn't know the family drama that is happening, that she will soon learn, and kind of becomes this catalyst, and that she didn't ask for. But I don't know, perhaps Gustav kind of sees this surrogate daughter in her, or he's able to express things to her in his work, but he can't do it with his own children.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how these things work. It's a mystery to me. Yes, sure. I also come from a family. I also feel that there are grievances from the past. My family's been affected tremendously by the Second World War, and this film deals with that in indirect ways. So it's not biographical, but thematically, maybe it's the way to put it, that you feel connected, and then you're allowed to forget yourself while you create, and try to understand a sister who's longing for the family to reconcile, and a sister who's trying to escape, and all of those characters become a part of me as well when I write it, and there are parts of my experience. So it's still a bit of a mystery. I'm sorry, it's not a great answer, but it's the best I can do. But it feels personal, because there are themes that I want to struggle for 3-4 years to make a movie about. So at some point it's connected to my personal life.
Joachim sits right by the camera, and he's so tuned in that he can actually understand and feel our instincts as actors. So I think, because we've talked about you had an instinct.
I felt like I wanted to hug you, but I was scared to ruin it, because it felt like we were making something really truthful and real, and I was scared to ruin it, and I didn't know where Casper was completely. And then I just heard you say, I don't remember it, but you have said that, just go and hug her. And I felt such relief that he knew exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And he gave me permission, and I did it. And then because he had said that, I felt hugging you, and I felt like I loved you in the moment, and I just said I love you, which I would never have done if you hadn't given me that. If I didn't know that we were on the same page, and if you weren't sort of in the room with us.
The undercurrents of emotion was at play between us in the moment. And it's funny, there is such a thing as transference. You do feel stuff that's not being said. It's a big theme in the film, but it's also a big theme when we work.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have dared in the writing room to have you say, I love you.
Yeah, because in Norwegian we don't say jag älskar dig. That's something
It's
you
a
say
little
to your lover or like your spouse.
Husband.
Yeah. You say another version to your
Yeah.
child. Like at least that's what it's been like for me. So when I had my own child, I started to say I love you in the biggest way possible because that's the truth. And I had to like take that. That's what I want to say. That's what I feel. And so that influenced this in a big way because I would never have said that if I hadn't had that experience of falling so completely in love in that huge way like I did with the child.
That's very beautiful. And I felt that in the moment that happened. But you had a trajectory in the film that I'm realizing is in there, which is that it's a film about love, really. It's about one sister and another sister and a father really trying to connect. And when you talk about that, I'm almost shamed as a shy Norwegian because it sounds like cheesy, oh, love. But it matters. Love really matters. Connectedness really matters. Reconciliation really matters. And at this moment, I think that's what we want to talk about in the film. A family can also be a picture of something bigger. But you need to see the other. You need to listen to the other and not make that person an enemy. And I think we talked a lot in direct and indirect ways about that when we were making this film.
And the way you guys write your characters, you never judge them. They're very complex, and you kind of, I feel everyone goes into that being so accepted on set, and us as actors, and also the characters. So it's like sears through everything in the work.
Is it true, Stellan, that Joachim calls you Mr. Cinema because of your love of films and movies? And how did it feel that Joachim specifically had you in mind for the role of Gustav?
It was very flattering, of course. Why he calls me Mr. Cinema, it's a joke because I can't always hide my technique. So you see that you can see that I'm experienced, and I try to hide the technique, but it doesn't always work. What he creates on the set is absolutely unique. It is an atmosphere of total trust and safety. It was a pleasure to go down to the set every day, and you feel that, and you become brave, because an actor's worst enemy is fear.
I mean, it's so true. That's what because, you know, I think all of us in the film, we have to be quite vulnerable in the movie, and if you feel uncomfortable or any bit of fear, like you're not going to be able to let that come out. And so Joachim just creates this environment where you feel safe to do that. And he sees every little thing. You know, he sits right next to the camera and he watches you in the take. And it's very special, you know. It's also rare to have that. He's really amazing.
Hi, Papa. Hi.
What would you say was the most challenging or memorable scene to film?
Well, with you, it was the scene that in the end, when you make the decision, and you do it so beautifully, and you're breaking down, but not totally. But it's you can see how she like cracks appear in her in front of your eyes. I watched most of the time in that scene, but it was fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Stellan. That was my last day on set too. Yeah, a lot of the scenes that we had together were kind of filmed chronologically, for me at least. Like our first scenes we had were in Deauville on the beach, and so our relationship could grow, which was really nice. I loved the Deauville scenes. They were it was cold on the beach, but it was quite fun. Like 5 jackets on me.
Well, I love the scene.
Yeah,
that
the one you
already talked
mentioned.
about.
Yeah, it was great, and we knew it was a pivotal scene of all the relationships in the movie, actually, with the father, daughter, and the 2 sisters. So, that was a very special.
And it felt like everyone was in it, like from us 3 and the whole crew and Casper, everyone was part of the scene. Like when I went outside, everyone was like in it. which felt really special.
But it was interesting. The film was about this fragmented family, the polyphony of all the singular voices that almost never fall into harmony. But there were some scenes where you were all together. And I think the middle of the film, there's a birthday party. Your son in the film, Eric, turns 9, and Nora and Gustav are forced to meet. It was tough days because there was like all the scenes were incredibly tense.
Yeah.
And even though you and Gustav's character are deflecting with humor all the time, poor Agnes is sitting there with this nightmare of these two people that she loves and they cannot communicate and it's on the brink of disaster. And I think that to create that whole scene, that was really muscular and difficult, and with this whole bunch of great actors and everything. But I really enjoyed it, actually. And editing it, I realized without all the pressure that the material is really strong and everyone played their little part in that kind of tragic comedy of that birthday party. I thought, and we haven't talked so much about that scene, actually. That was really exciting to me as a director.
Each scene that I filmed, I vividly remember the experience. I mean, the theater scene with Renate, because that's the only scene that I have with her, really stood out. Because I was very nervous for that scene that day. You know, there was kind of this anticipation of our two characters colliding and meeting, because in a way we're kind of these mirrors of each other and we're kind of circling each other throughout the whole film, but without ever meeting. And so that kind of crescendo heart was pounding, and she's so amazing. That was exciting.